Hey everyone, welcome to the We the People weekday live stream. I am your vice chair, C. Michael Pickens, and Tony Kelly, our chair. How are you?
Hi, good.
Awesome.
I am good. Forgot to turn off my phone.
That is
Sorry.
okay. So, I wanted to talk about Larry Sharp's campaign for governor in New York. He's running for governor 2026, so it's this year. And he is running under the We the People party line and the Libertarian party line.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know in New York, they have a fusion state. So you can actually run under multiple different parties and you will appear multiple times on the ballot.
Such an interesting way to do it.
Yeah. So the Democrats, they have the current governor, Kathy Hochul. The Republicans had Elise Stefanik, who was their gubernatorial candidate, but she just dropped out not too long ago after raising $2 million from the Republican Party, and she kept the funds. So that's interesting in and of itself that she raised that much money and then decided to drop out and then keep the funds. So now they have another guy, Blakeman or something like that, Brad Blakeman,
I think so.
I can't remember. 70-year-old gentleman who is a county executive in Nassau County or something, some county like that. No idea. But basically, he's unknown, right? He's unknown. Okay, so
He's
the
a young
Republicans
guy,
have
isn't he? It's kind of like he must be really young. Yeah.
Yeah, he represents the youth of the Republican Party in New York. And Larry is on his third run for governor in New York. And it's interesting because he has every year, he has went around to every county, and they call it a full sharp. He just finished his 8th full sharp, where he's visited every single county in New York State, all 68 counties, which is an amazing feat in and of itself. So he has got a lot of name recognition, and he's currently polling at 8%. At 8%.
Which, from what he was saying, sounds like that's more than the Republican candidate got in the last mayor election or governor election.
No, it was mayor in New York City. Yeah, okay. Curtis Sliwa got 7% when he ran for mayor. But you have to remember, there was Mamdani, who got matching funds. So he got $12 million in matching funds to run his campaign. That's crazy. And then there was Andrew Cuomo, who's a former governor, right, in New York, who also ran for mayor. And Trump endorsed Andrew Cuomo, not the Republican, which is also very interesting. So Mamdani won the Democrat primary for mayor against Andrew Cuomo, who was a former governor. So Andrew Cuomo lost the primary and then decided to run as an independent and then lost again as well. But during that campaign, the Republican Party nominated Curtis Sliwa, who then Donald Trump endorsed Cuomo, running as a former Democrat.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, he's a former Democrat, establishment Democrat, running as an independent against the Democratic Socialist, and then Trump endorsed him, not the Republican, which is very interesting, right? As much as Trump likes to call like Rand Paul and Thomas Massie rhinos, like they're not endorsing Democrats. They're not supporting Democrat policies, right? They're not neocons at all. And you got Trump that, anyone who is a true conservative knows that Trump is not a conservative and not even close, right?
Well, he never has been.
No, he never has
been. Yeah.
No, but he was able to create this coalition, right? Running around him, he had libertarian leaning Republicans, he had establishment Republicans, he even had, RFK, freedom-minded Democrats and Tulsi Gabbard. She was an anti-war Democrat, right? And he got all these people to support him. Now, Larry Sharpe is looking to do something similar by building coalitions with other groups to get him elected. Now, obviously, Larry Sharpe's policies are a lot different than Donald Trump's policies. And one thing...
Thank God.
Yeah. One thing about Larry's campaign is that he's got all of his policies up on his website. So
yeah, they're very clear, very easy to read.
Yeah, I think he actually updated it because there used to be links where you can click through and watch videos, and now they're all gone. So I don't know. I'll actually have to reach out to him about that, find out where all his links went. So anyways, it's a huge opportunity for we the people, I see, right? Not just the Libertarian Party, but the We the People Party, because if he can get that ballot access line and get ballot access for We the People Party, you know, he doesn't have to win to do that. He has to get a certain percentage. I don't remember what it was. But if he can do that, then all of the We the People Party candidates are automatically on the ballot. So that's going to be a huge boom for the We the People Party in New York.
Yeah.
Now, the struggle that he's having right now is that he needs to get 5,000 New Yorkers to donate anywhere from $5 to $250 before April to get matching funds. So if he is unable to get matching funds, the We the People Party is going to have a lot harder time getting him on the ballot. There won't be the money available because Larry can put his campaign cash towards We the People Party ballot access. So very interesting. So if you know of anyone in New York, we should probably promote that, you know, getting them to think about contributing to his campaign.
Right, because it's a dollar amount, but it has to be from, like, you can donate to Larry. That's not a problem. But to get the matching funds, it has to be from somebody who lives in New York. So what people are doing, what people are doing is they're calling their friends and they're giving their friends, you know, $50 and telling their friends to take that money and donate that to Larry's campaign.
Yeah, absolutely. I know quite a few people in New York, and I have customers in New York, and I'm going to be giving them calls and seeing if they can donate and contribute. So I just talked to someone in New York earlier today, but he was already a supporter of Larry. So he had already donated the $250. So
nice.
Yeah, he's got to raise $500,000 from people in New York, minimum of 5,000 people donating anywhere from $5 to $250. So
yeah, and I heard him say he's already, I mean, like, he's in six figures now. So like they're doing.
He said he's halfway there.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, he said he's halfway there. So that's a really good sign. You know, January is halfway up. So 2 more weeks, February, March. That's 2.5 months remaining for him to collect, you know, another $250,000 from 2,500 people. So, but it sounds like that they're planning on doing like a fundraiser or pledge fundraiser, targeting New York State, right? Targeting New York State to get these people to donate. It's interesting too because he also has some people in the Republican Party that are encouraging him to run for the Republican Party nomination. So it sounds like he's going to move forward with that also. If he gets the Republican Party nomination, he'll be on the ballot as a Republican as well. So Libertarian, We the People, Republican Party, there won't be an opposition candidate to Kathy Hochul besides Larry Sharpe.
Right.
So it'll be the Democrat versus Larry Sharpe with a coalition of Republicans and Libertarians and We the People and possibly Green and possibly Forward Party. He's talking with them as well. So, but it really depends on him getting matching funds, because he'll have to help contribute to the Forward Party to get ballot access and to the Green Party to get ballot access. It's not just going to happen, because those parties aren't established enough either to be able to afford to get ballot access by themselves.
Right. Yeah, because third parties have really gone down there, right? Like, it sounds like it's much harder now than it's ever been to be a third party candidate.
Well, in New York, yeah. You know, here in Washington State, if we want to put a candidate on the ballot for president, it's like 2,000 signatures. And that's to cover the spread also.
Right.
You know,
right.
Like that's easy. You know, you're talking New York for governor, it's 50,000 signatures.
Right.
Like that's a lot harder. Getting Glenn on the ballot here, you know, we'll be able to collect all the signatures to get him on the ballot. You know, it's not going to cost us $100,000 or $200,000 to do it either.
Right.
You know, Definitely. A few thousand signatures. I don't know the exact number for governor, but it's probably it's only going to be a few thousand. I know when we were doing this in 2016 and we're collecting signatures for our state rep candidates, it was like 600 signatures.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
I haven't seen anything about how many signatures. I only see the dollar amounts. And so I think that the fee is like I want to say 1% of the salary.
That sounds about right. Yeah. So we'll take a look. We can always call the Secretary of State and ask them, and they'll tell us, exactly how many signatures it's going to take. But it doesn't necessarily cost money to get a candidate on the ballot. You can pay, or you can collect signatures. So if the candidate doesn't have the money, or if we don't have the money to put up, for the candidate, which I don't think we should. I think we really should collect the signatures, because that is also a way of marketing and advertising the candidate, going out in the community, getting people to sign for the candidate, makes them aware that the candidate even exists. If we just fork out the cash, no one's going to know.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree with you. I loved doing that during Kennedy.
Yeah.
That was lots of fun. Very interesting.
Yeah, and the more people we have on board, the easier it's going to be to collect the signatures. If every person on the Kennedy donor list collects one signature, we have enough. There's like 7,000 people on that list. We are way more than enough.
Way more.
Right.
Yeah.
Not saying that everyone is going to, but let's say, 1,000 people collect 5 signatures. Boom, that's enough. That's enough to make it happen. And that's realistic also.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
So it's not too outside the realm of, what could actually happen.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that should be way more fun than just handing over some money.
Yeah, because we can use that money for advertising, which we have been.
Right. I wonder what the money goes to. Like, I never thought about that before. Like, you pay that fee. Like, what does that money go to when you pay that fee?
I don't know.
Never thought about it. Look at how controlled. Look at how controlled we are. I mean, like, we're talking about not paying the fee and taking another route, but never thought about why we pay a fee to begin with. You just do it.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Just pay the fee. Yeah. Why are we paying a fee to be able to participate in our own democracy, to be able to run for office? Right now, I know Washington State, the requirements are way lower than New York and what Larry Sharpe has to deal with and what all their other candidates have to deal with out there. But I still don't think it's right.
Right. Yeah.
Even though it's easier, it's still not right. Pay the money, collect the signatures, just to be able to get on the ballot to participate in democracy. I thought the system was meant to empower the individual and the citizens.
Right. Hoop after hoop, always.
Yep.
So funny. Wow. Interesting. What? I don't have much today. I'm sorry.
That's okay. We were just talking about Larry and how to get on the ballot. Like, it's all good.
Yeah. That was a good conversation with him.
Yeah, so I like the ending. The ending was the best part. You know, everything that led up to that was kind of like the same stuff he's been talking about, you know, which is important. There's no doubt about that. But I remember talking to him 3-4 years ago, and he was telling me about a book he was writing on happiness and how it relates to politics, and how if someone is happy, they don't want to control their neighbor, right? If someone is happy, they don't want to impose their will onto someone else. They don't want to hurt anyone else, right? They just want to live their life. And I think this is very important because there's a lot of miserable people out there, and there's a lot of miserable people in politics on both the left and the right.
Yeah.
You know, I do this because I want to be set free. I don't want mandates for my health going into effect. I don't want money to be stolen from me that I don't even have. I want to be able to provide a better life for my family. I want to be able to build, you know, a business that relies on voluntary interactions, not these businesses out there that are just crony companies that rely on the government for their money. You know, we're seeing this rampant across the country, and the fraud that's in place. Like, you think these people are really happy with their lives working or running a company that is literally defrauding people?
I hope not.
How can they?
They probably think they are, right? They've got all the money in the world. They should be, right? Like, that's probably how they think. Like, I should be happy.
Yeah, I don't know, because they're obviously, you know, defrauding the state, defrauding the taxpayers, and I don't know how anyone could be happy about that. You know,
you'd have to constantly be looking over your shoulder and constantly,
it seems like they are.
Right. Yeah. You know, I can't imagine living my entire life wondering when somebody's going to figure out that I'm a fraud.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, I'm an open book. There's nothing you can come at me with that I'm going to be like, oh, I mean, you know, not realistically. I mean, I can't even imagine living my life that way. Just lie after lie.
Yeah. Well, you see some of these daycare videos, and it's like they got the windows blocked out and the doors are locked, and they answer the door and they crack it open and they're holding it. You know what I mean? Like, that's their life. That's literally their life. Yeah. They're there to just steal that money and, I don't know, send it back to Somalia or do whatever they want with it. And it's not just Somalians, and I don't want to sound racist, because there's a ton of other ones that are actually also not Somalian Americans and other people that are defrauding the state and hiding and doing the same things. You know, we were looking into it here locally, and God, there's like this one nonprofit, and they're taking money from the county government, and there's another nonprofit that is connected to that nonprofit that's also taking money, and then there's another umbrella nonprofit where that money funnels to, and everything's hidden. It's just crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. And it's very frustrating to think that everybody thinks it's one-sided. I know, you know, we only see the Democrat stuff right now because the Republicans are in power, right? But it's not like it's, I don't know how you can think that it's one side when they're both getting paid by the same people, right?
Yeah. You know why we know it's not one side? Because Doge was shut down.
Right.
Because Doge started looking into pharmaceutical corruption, into military industrial complex, and they were seeing the Republicans were doing it also. And when they started uncovering that there's Republican NGOs that are also benefiting from this fraud and corruption, they got rid of Doge. They cut it off. Oh, sorry. You were just supposed to go after the Democrats.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember what their reasoning for shutting it down. I thought it was just like, oh, they've done their job.
They didn't do their job. I mean, they were just getting started.
Yeah. No, I know that. I'm just like, I'm trying to remember what the reason was why they shut it down.
Yeah, they were just getting started, and none of the cuts were made permanent at all.
No.
So all of those same, funding, foreign countries, foreign companies, NGOs, all of these are still getting paid, even though it's all corrupt. And they found out it was corrupt, and the Republicans were doing it too. And the Republicans have not gone after any Democrats. If you've noticed that, they have not charged any Democrats with any corruption or fraud charges at all, because they're both doing it.
Yeah. It's just frustrating to be here and see it, and neither side seeing it. Just neither one. It's so frustrating to talk to them.
The thing is, if you look in the community and you talk to people, the Democrats will say, well, what are our options? Vote Republican? I can't do that. So we have to vote Democrat. And the Republicans are like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I see that. Yeah, Donald Trump is corrupt, but what are my options?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to vote Democrat? Can't do that. So then they just continue voting the way they're voting, or
no matter
they stop.
Who.
Yeah, or they just stop voting and stop participating, which, 39% voter turnout last year here in Washington State. So you got to look and say, 61% of people that are registered to vote, 61% of people registered to vote decided not to go out and vote. What about all the people that aren't even registered to vote?
Right.
So that number goes even higher.
Yeah, well, because we're so naive. Like, I was very naive before I got into all of this, especially, it started with Kennedy, when I started to realize, like, the presidency isn't the most important thing, and so we're very naive. And I think that that's why the voter turnout is so low too, is because we think, all you see on the news is about the president. We don't see our own legislators half the time on the news or anything like that, except for the ding dong governor.
Yeah. Which, by the way, Democrats pay, campaigns pay for advertising in the news stations. So it's just like pharmaceutical advertising, right? The news stations aren't going to report on side effects of vaccines because they're paying half their ads. And if they go after these pharmaceutical companies in their reporting, they're going to stop getting that money. One thing here that our county government does is that it pays $5,000 to each local newspaper to publish their news, right? So the local newspaper has no incentive to uncover corruption in the county government. They have no incentive to even look into it, because do you think that the county government will continue paying them that money?
Right. Nope. There's a show on Apple called, I can't think of the name of it. It's like, it's got Reese Witherspoon and I'm terrible. I never know actresses' names. I don't even know.
I don't know either.
But it's all about this morning show and this TV network. And this last season was all about, if you look at it more as like a playbook and what's happening, like it was showing like what these journalists go through. And so like one of them is running the network now, and she has to appease the people that are paying their bills. So she went out and tried to report on a story that was happening where these people were outside of the oil, like the oil people's thing for climate change or whatever. And anyway, they got pissed. And so she had to go and apologize and go kiss ass to go get, so that they don't pull their funding, so that they don't pull all their advertising. And it's like, and then they had all of this other internal thing and stories getting hidden. And like this whole season, I was watching it going, man, if people just watch something like this and realize like this is real, I wonder sometimes when you watch these shows, if they're like not trying to tell us, what they think, like, here's the truth of what's really happening. It's not just a pretend show.
Yep. Yeah, it's absolutely the truth. 100% at all levels. There's something like this going on. So, yep,
Yeah.
it's too bad. Sometimes it's a little depressing.
Yeah. Well, I know you have to get out of here on time, so we should probably wrap it up. But I have to ask, is that a sweatshirt?
It is, yeah. It's my George Washington sweatshirt. Yeah.
That's what I thought. I love it. I've been staring at it like that is a sweatshirt.
It is, yeah. It's a hoodie. Yep.
Oh, that's fun.
I bought it for a comedy show that I did for this conservative group a while back. So
that's awesome. Oh, excuse me.
Yep.
I love it.
So anyways.
All right. Well, I should be here tomorrow. There shouldn't be any reason why I won't be. I should be back. I have meetings set up until 2:00 tomorrow. So
yeah, I'm really excited to hear about that. You know, we're going to hear all about Toni's experience at the Capitol, talking to her state representative and state senator, one of the state reps.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and if I've got time, I might just go knock on the door of the other one just to see if I can jump in there. So.
Yeah. Are you going to live stream it? Are you bringing the body cam? You bringing the body cam?
You know, I actually tried to buy one, and I was looking at so many that when I was reading the instructions for the one that came today, and there's no audio.
What?
Yeah. I'm like,
it's just a camera?
It's just a camera.
With no audio.
With no audio. And I'm like, well, that's stupid.
Oh, no. That's too bad.
I'm going to bring my tape recorder, and I'm hesitant to ask them to record it because I'm afraid that they'll not be quite as open if I ask them to record it. But then I also, is it legal to record it and share that later? But I want to record it for my own notes. But
so technically, Washington State is a two-party consent state if you're using it for any lawful purposes. So if you're using it in court, there has to be acknowledgement, which is crazy, but you know. However, out in the street, we'll see on public property, you don't have to, right? Because it's public property. You can record audio and video anytime, and the police do it. The sheriff's department does it. So I just think that if you have the tape recorder there, they're going to be less likely if you had just a body cam or something. You know?
Yeah. Well, and I thought maybe I would just leave the tape recorder in my purse, or something. But anyway, I don't know. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do. I get flustered, and I'll forget things. So I want to record it just for my own personal.
Yeah, if you can, just for your own personal, just so you can reflect back, maybe listen to it on the way back, or take notes when you get home. On what you've listened to, or what what the conversation was about, because I'm really interested to hear what they have to say about the state of Washington. And it's kind of very similar to what's going on in New York. Like, the Republicans don't have power. They it's a super majority Democrat state. So what are their solutions? Like, they cannot win in these Democrat controlled areas. So why not we the people? Why not have another option out there? And I think that's where we're going to win. And not just that, but also in the Republican controlled areas, because the Democrats don't have a chance there either. So we have a huge opportunity. We've just got to, get the support we need to make it happen.
Yeah. Yep. So, awesome. All right. Well, have Tony. A good night, and
you too.
We'll see what happens tomorrow.
All right. Sounds good. Talk soon.
All right, have a good one.
You too. Bye.